Using component attributes, you can pass dynamic data or configuration options into components to build logic, display dynamic text, or change the styling of elements. Here I have 3 cards, each containing a label, image, heading, and paragraph of text. Currently, each card is created manually. If I want to add a new card, I need to duplicate one of the existing cards and edit the content. If I change the style of one of the cards or add something new, I need to replicate that across all other cards. All of this is time-consuming and makes this card a great candidate for a component that uses attributes. If you want to follow along with this lesson in the Nordcraft editor, you can pause the video here and create your own card, including a label, image, heading, and paragraph. Don't worry too much about styling your card, as it's just the content that's important in this lesson. To create a component, right-click the parent element of your card. In my case, it's an article tag, and choose Extract as Component. Let's name this component Card and click Create. You'll now see the single card on its own canvas with all content and styling preserved. And you'll notice that instead of the green page icon at the top of the element tree, you'll see the pink component icon with the name of the component. Now, currently, wherever you use this component, you'll see the same static content. This isn't very useful on its own, so to make the label, image, heading, and paragraph of text configurable, we're going to create some component attributes. Make sure no element is selected in the element tree so that you're viewing the data panel on the right. Find the Attributes section and click the plus button. Let's start with the label at the top left of the card. Name this attribute Label. In the dialog, you can define a test value for use inside the editor when you're editing the component directly. For demonstration purposes, let's set the test value of the label attribute to test label, and you'll see why in a moment. Now we've defined this attribute, we can use the formula editor to display its value anywhere we like. In the element tree, right-click the text node that's currently displaying the label text and click Add Formula. Here we can get the value from the label attribute. Click on the arrow on the first formula node and select Label under Attributes. You'll now notice that the label text has changed to the test value of the label attribute. Now let's do the same for the heading and paragraph. View the data panel and create a new attribute. Name it Heading and add a test value of Test Heading. In the element tree, right-click the text node for the heading and choose Add Formula. In the first formula node, select the heading attribute. Next, add a third attribute, name it Text, and add a test value. I'm going to paste in some lorem ipsum placeholder text. In the element tree, right-click the text node for the paragraph and choose Add Formula. In the first formula node, select the text attribute. Now for the image, we're going to need 2 attributes, one for the image URL and one for the image alt text. Let's add another attribute and name it image URL. For the test value, I'm going to use an image placeholder URL. And let's add a final attribute to configure the alt text of the image, name it image alt, and give it a test value of test image alt text. Select the image in the element tree and view the attributes panel by pressing A on your keyboard. Next to the image alt attribute, click the FX button to open the formula editor. Choose the image alt attribute. Next to the image source attribute, click the FX button to open the formula editor and choose the image URL attribute. Now we're ready to use this component. Navigate back to the page on which you extracted the HTML for the card as a component. You'll now see that it looks kind of broken, but this means everything is working correctly. You'll also notice that the block of HTML you extracted as a component has now been replaced with one instance of the card component. Click on the component and view the attributes panel by pressing A on your keyboard. Here you'll see a list of the attributes you just created. They're currently not defined yet, which is why you see that each of the items in the card are undefined. Now you can fill in each of the attribute fields with the desired content, and you'll see the values update in real time on the canvas. After you've confirmed everything is working as expected on the first card, you can replace every other instance of the card with a component and configure their attributes accordingly. Now, anytime you make an update to the card component, such as by changing the styling or adding a new element, each instant of that card component in your project will update to reflect that.